Well, decided to start messing with my generator again. I just haven't gotten around to it. And oh, by the way, I apologize for that last video. That was a horrendous video. I tried remaking it twice and somehow things weren't coming through, and after I spent all the time waiting for it to download onto YouTube, it was screwed up and things out of the timeline weren't even right. I don't know what the hell happened, so I apologize for that. I'll try to do better. And I kind of forgot how to use a lot of my editing software since I haven't used it in such a long time. So, anyway, mess with it. Oh, the irritating whine you hear in the background is the brand new electric motor I put into my furnace. It quit. So that's what you get for a brand new one. Well, I got to reattach this lug. This is the power lug that hooks to the fields. And the fields, these are new OEM fields, new old stock. They come with the new little electrical ends, but the problem is this fair here it's all brass. The lug that goes through, that the rivet holds it to the body, is all, this is all you know, kind of made into one piece, and I don't have another. Well, I could probably try to make something brass, but I decided, well, I'll just unsolder the connections and solder the new one back on. So I guess we'll give that a try. But yeah, they don't make it. I guess you weren't supposed to rebuild this stuff originally. You're just supposed to buy new. Oh, come on. Yeah, my old. I was going to try to retape them. I mean, these are from 1955. I mean, the tape that's on them is all disintegrating. I found this set of OEM replacement off eBay for, I think it was $25 or something. Brand new old stock. So I'll just do it that way. See how long these wire ends are. Yeah, I don't think it makes any difference which field is hooked up to what side. I don't want to try to keep from flexing these any more than I have to. These solid wires will just snap. So least amount of movement, I guess, is best. I'll cut these a little long so if I screw them up, I have something left to work with. And I suppose you can kind of fold them up in there. You don't want to have too much extra. Back is still not doing the best. Okay. So try to keep them on the same side, but it don't really probably makes that much difference. Tried to release the old solder, but it didn't want to release. I finally had to take a little teeny tiny drill bit and drill out the old piece of soldered on wire. Get it fed back through the hole. Oh, come on. Bend that around and solder the whole thing on. Ah, crap. I think I got that pretty good. Just those old terminal ends are pretty sturdy. Or they were just more manly back then. Which is a good possibility. More leverage. Okay, soldering that. Solder and paste. My favorite really thin solder that shouldn't take much to get the job done. Yeah, that cooled down the soldering gun awful quick. Here's how I get it a little hotter. Yeah, looks like it might be acceptable. Maybe not. That wire may not. That little. Probably should have wiped it with a piece of sandpaper before I stuck it in there. Yeah, wire didn't solder. More flux. A little too much. Oh, come on. Nice if something went just halfway decently right. Oh, crap. You know, let's just fuck with me some more. Oh, shit. Fucking wire just isn't gonna... Sure, why not? Too much. Old. Dirty. Copper wire, I guess. Just to add to the fun. Well, there's no reason for you to watch this bull. Okay, finally got it soldered. Well, there must have been some, you can see it there, the solder job came out just fine. Would have been nice just to put the whole new wire ends on, but this peened over or swaged hollow brass bit holding all this together, I was going to find it hard to duplicate. It was just easier to pry these open and resolder them. It worked good. So that'll be pretty much ready to put the fields into the housing here. Painted it up quite a while ago. But Oh, the other thing I'm going to have to come up with is that's the rivet that went clean through that post and riveted into the housing. I don't know if I'm going to try to bolt it in or come up with another rivet. I mean, this is a inch-long rivet, but I'll figure that out a little bit later. Oh, and I think I mentioned in one of my other videos I was going to Costa Rica, and I did that trip to have a bunch of dental work done that I couldn't afford in the U.S. It's still an expensive trip, but way cheaper than here. And I got to go to a country where it's a nice, comfortable 70, 75 degrees day and night. They don't know what a furnace is in a house. They don't exist. And it was just pleasant. Met nice people. Had a very good time, actually. The only real problem I had was going through LAX. Holy, that might as well be a foreign country. But both directions. Anyway, it was an interesting visit, and I now have a Costa Rican family down there that that helped me out a whole bunch. So when I do a return trip, I'll be staying with them, and probably spend a few extra days. But anyway, it was a good time. Anyway, more on this a little bit later. I'll show you what I've been doing to the car too here last few days. I'll cue that up here next. I'll cue up some Costa Rican video right now. Well, this is where my first day was at. This is across the street. Nice big park. It's used a lot. One way down the street, there's a plaza down there. And up the street, I'm getting ready to head off to my first dental appointment. Security everywhere. This is where I go to the grocery store. And a few other amenities just down the hill. Yeah, security's on high here all the time. Well, this is where I'm staying. It's Saturday. Got to walk down to get my COVID test. Yeah, you like all that pile of wiring. So I got to walk down the hill. It's about a half mile. Go get tested, prove I'm okay. There's my dentist's office, closed on Saturday. And there's the lab I got to go to for my COVID test. So this is route or road 310. Okay, well I got a little bit more done. I had a problem trying to re-rivet this piece. I made up a brass rivet, but I couldn't pin it over and keep it good and tight. It loosened up, and then the rivet started to bend. So I just found a screw the right size and got it threaded through and Loctited the nut on and tightened it up good and tight, and that should be plenty good. Now I'm working on this piece of insulation. It's like a piece of gasket paper was slipped down in here to protect this wire from touching the case, but it cracked. It's hard as a rock, so I made up a new one just out of some gasket paper, and that should work fine. So now I just need to get it slipped down in here. I don't know, I thought about putting a little bit of glue on the back side of it, maybe just to help it out. I don't know. Anyway, I'll fight with this and bring you back so you won't have to listen to me swear. Okay, I've pretty much got this finished up. There's the shield that I made out of gasket paper, and ended up using a screw and a nut. I had to machine the head of the screw down a little bit, so it was a little bit proud, and there's a dust cover that goes over this, and I didn't want to interfere with that, so I had to machine that down just a little bit with an end mill. And I touch my paint up, although it's, I guess, not that important. The dust cover goes over all that, but I'll touch it up. And I still got to get these mega tight. It's amazing how tight those are. And I've ran into that in other starter motors and generators. It's almost impossible to get them out. There's a special fixture they show in the manual that holds this, has a screwdriver bit which you turn a handle which turns the bit into the side of this and then tightens it. So I mean, they get them really tight. I should be able to tighten that up. I got it out with an impact, the hammer style impact. I'm going to tighten these. I tightened them with that, but I'm going to tighten these with my air impact just a little bit. And this part basically is done. So, still got a couple of parts I got to get for this generator, but this was a hard part. Now I'll move on to other fun things, so to speak. Let's turn this around here again. I'm working on the battery box right at the moment. Didn't have the holes for the overdrive screws, like here and here, so I drilled those in the right spot. And the original screws were they actually domed this a little bit in the head of the screw, so it wasn't too very proud in here. And then they brazed the screw head. So I'm sort of doing the same thing. I've got them to where they're down pretty flush, and I'll go ahead and put a drop of brass on that. This is just holding it in place right now, but small little thing there to fix. And then this is just about ready to start thinking about installing it. But overall, yeah, that's about it there. And let's get you off this stand here. Starting to tinker around a little bit here. I've been welding up holes that are not necessary and drilling holes that are necessary and making that hole, even though I'm going to cover up all these spots I'm making, just because my 1955 had all this, so it could be either right or left-hand drive. Later on, they were right-hand drive only, so they omitted all this. So I'm going through the effort of putting it all in there. I guess it won't make much difference in the end, but it'll be correct for a 55. And start working on this bit here. So that's the next installment. But I'm getting a little something done anyway. More later.